In today's video, we're gonna create this cool effect which I call it 3D phone screen in After Effects. It has a very subtle effect, but if you pay a close attention to the screen, it has some parallaxing going on the screen and it looks very nice. But before we jump into the tutorial, I want to talk about a photo and video enhancement tool which is 4D Dig by Tenorshare. So this is the interface of the 4D Dig. Go to the photo enhancer. I'll get started here and add photos. I have a low resolution image. I'm going to select this, open this, and this is a low resolution and I'm going to scale it up, right? So at the right side you have the AI models. You have the general model, face model, and the denoise model. For this example, we don't have a face model, we don't need to denoise it, so I'm going to stick with general model and I'm going to select this 4x quality first. So once you are done with that, I can just enhance this and it's going to take a while to process this. Alright, this is the final image. You can zoom in, you can see how well it does, right? So once you're happy with this, you can just save this and you can just select the folder and it's gonna save the file for you. Or you can just open the folder, the save folder, and here it is, the enhanced image. So it's very nice. And let's go back to the home and let's select this video enhancer, get started. I'm gonna do the same and I have a low resolution video here. I'm gonna open this and the same goes here. Let me just go and stick with the general model because we don't have a face model here, we don't have an anime model. I'll select the 4x and quality first again and I'm going to hit the enhance. So it's gonna take a while because this is a video and it's going to process frame by frame, so it's gonna take a little while for the software to enhance and upscale this. So just have patience, it's gonna work. You can see here it's already working very nice. This is the one frame. You can just pause it. You can see that before and after it's still processing the rest of the frames, so it's gonna take a while. Like I said, almost there, and there you have it. You can see and you can save it to the folder and it's gonna take a while to save. So once it's done, you can just click this open folder and you can see the enhanced video and this is the before and after. So it's a very cool tool to have. 4D Dig is not only a video and image enhancer, it also can repair corrupted files and videos and images and audio as well. Go check out 4D Dig by Tenorshare. The link will be there in the description down below. So here I have some assets. I'll link the download link in the description down below. So I have the video here. You can drag and drop it inside the new composition. And let me just make some room here. Alright, so this is the footage. First things first, let me just go ahead and track the camera. So make sure you are at a full resolution like always, and I'm gonna track the camera. Meanwhile, I want to talk about a very cool tool which is AE Juice, and we're gonna use some HUD elements for this kind of effect. Let me just search for HUD HUD, and it has some very cool HUD titles here and some other HUD elements. You can just go inside these HUD titles and I'm gonna use one of this. Let me just crop to the timeline and the track is very nice, I believe. Let me just go ahead and select the points. Maybe I'm gonna select this. I think this is going to be fine, right? Right click, create solid and camera. So I'm gonna select on the solid and I'm gonna scale it up to fit this screen, to cover the entire screen, something like this. Right. Once you are done with that, you can just shut off the eye. While selecting on the solid, go to pen tool and I'm going to zoom in here and I'm going to draw a line, something like this. This is to mask out the screen, right? So let's draw a line, something like this, and that. You can turn this back on. Maybe you can change this to black, right? And set this to fit. And I'm gonna duplicate this, Control D to duplicate it. shut off the eye for the bottom layer. Maybe I'm going to move this tracker camera on top, and I'm going to set this track matte to the solid, right? And maybe reverse that, right? If you turn the transparency grid, you can see that you have a transparent screen now, right? So one more thing I would like to do is, it has a very hard edge here, so I'm going to select the solid, hit F to feather it, and maybe feather it 10 pixel or maybe 15 pixel or so. Yep, I think we're going to feather 15 pixels, right? So right now we have this, and we're going to place something inside this, right? So I'm going to create a new composition, and I'm going to call it phone, I think phone media, right? So the same size, hit OK, and go to the project, and I have a phone screenshot, which is this, and I'm going to scale it down. I think I am not going to use the same resolution for this. I think I'm going to go and delete that phone screen, phone media, and instead I'm going to drag and drop this phone screenshot on top of the resolution. That way it creates the exact resolution of the phone, right? So Control K to rename the to go to the composition settings, and I'm going to rename this phone media, right? So okay, and what I did was I extracted out different parts. You can do this in Photoshop, but I'm going to show you how you can do that here without selecting any layers. I'm going to select this rectangle, rounded rectangle tool, close these properties, and we'll make some room. Select this, something like this. Go to rectangle, roundness, and increase these, and you can just adjust this, adjust this to match the screenshot. Don't have to be super precise on this. Right, this is good. So once you are here, you can just change the color of this to red. Sorry, both of this to red, and I'm gonna select this matte to layer 1. That way it masks out that, right? So select both of these, Control D to duplicate, move it up. And I'm going to select this, and maybe I'm going to duplicate first screenshot image only again, and I'm going to set this to no matte and hit T and lower the opacity 30%, and I can know where exactly to paste that, right? So let's just go and select this one, and I'm going to move it here, right? And I'm going to duplicate this again, Control D to duplicate, move it up, and make sure you select only the shapes, move it down here, right? I'm going to duplicate this, Control D, move it up, select the shape, and move it down here. And I think I have 2 more, which is these 2, Control D to duplicate, I'm gonna move it up, and I'm gonna select the shapes and move it down here, and I'm going to select this 4, Control D, move it up, and I'm gonna select just the shape layer, this and this, and I'm gonna move it down. Something like that. And I think I have another one, which is the search, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate another copy of this, move it up, T, increase the opacity, and I'm gonna grab another, I'm gonna grab this rounded rectangle tool without selecting any layers, and I'm gonna draw a shape here, right? I really don't like this. I don't use this too much, so I'm gonna close this. I instead want to use the old school way, you know, this one, the old school After Effects style, right? I don't want to use that. Maybe I'm not used to it as of now. Alright, so this is the mask, and I'm gonna change the color so that we can know exactly what's this. Yellow. And I'm gonna change this one to, sorry, matte, screen matte, track matte, sorry. So that's it. Right, so let's just close this. So you have the layers, you have all the layers in separate one, in a separate layer. I'm gonna turn off the last screenshot, and I am going to drag and drop a screen here. So this is a home screen of my landing page of my course. Maybe I'm gonna scale it up a touch, right? Something like that. So once you are done with the scene building, you can just turn on the 3D switch for all the layers and select the last one, hit P, and I'm gonna offset the position to go away, the Z position, and scale it back up. And maybe I'm gonna offset this search, this library, yeah. So the pivot point is here. Maybe I'm gonna select this hand behind tool and move this up first here, and select the selection tool, hit P, and I'm gonna move this up towards the camera, and maybe I'm gonna scale it down, something like that, right? We've scaled up even more, something like that. And I'll also create a new null object, and I'm gonna make this a 3D, and I'm gonna select all the layers of the phone icons here, and I'm gonna parent this to the null, so that if I hit P and if I move it down or move it up towards the camera, it's gonna stick. That's gonna stick. All the icons gonna stick to that null, right? So for now, let's just keep it like this. Close these properties. Let's make some room here. And let's go back to the phone screen, and maybe let's go and change the name of the comp, Control K, and rename this main comp, okay, so that we can differentiate. All right, let's go to the project, and here I have the phone screen. Here I have the phone media, which is this. I'm gonna drag and drop it just below this footage, and right away you can see here. Let's go and make this a 3D layer. And you can't see anything right now. That's because we have to place this at this position, right? So to do that, let me just select the solid that we have created earlier, hit P to bring up the position. I'm going to copy the position and paste it on the media, Control V to paste it, and we'll need R for rotation, Control C to copy for the orientation, and hit R, and I'm gonna paste it on the orientation of this. So this is exactly what I want, but the problem is with this scale. So I'm gonna scale it up, and move it to reposition it. Maybe I'm gonna move it somewhere here, or collapse this transformation, right? Click on this little gear so that we have some depth. So if you play it back now, you can see that it's very, very cool. It has some depth. You can always go inside this phone media and you can adjust the depth here. Maybe I'm gonna push it towards back side, maybe scale it back up, and let's just add some blur to the background and lens blur, camera lens blur, right? So I think I bring it up to 8 or something like that, and I'm gonna create a new layer which is gonna be black BG, and we move it down and select this motion school and get it to 50 or maybe 80. Lower the opacity to 80 or so that these are visible. Let's go to the main composition again. All right, that's very nice. You can, be creative and you can just add anything you want. And this is not too realistic as of now, because if you solo the layer, the original one, you can see that it's a little bit darker. So let's just unsolo this, and maybe I'm gonna create a new solid layer for the BG. I'm gonna make it here at the bottom, and maybe I'm gonna hit T on the keyboard, selecting on the phone media, and lower the opacity to 80. Maybe 90. So, and we need some reflection on the screen, right? So let's go to the project and select this reflection. I have a reflection map here. I'm gonna drag and drop it just on top of the phone media, and you can just make this a 3D, scale it up, and maybe I'm gonna copy this position again, paste it in the reflection, Control V to paste it, and hit R, copy the orientation and paste it on the reflection here. And I'm gonna scale it up something like this, and go and change the blending mode to screen, or maybe soft light, right? And yeah, but you don't have any parallaxing as of now, and you can play with the Z position. Maybe I'm gonna push it towards the camera and scale it down something like that, and maybe lower the opacity to 80 or so, something like that. Yeah, you can see that. Maybe the position is too much, I think. Soft light. I think I have to set the position, yeah, a little bit to the negative values, I mean towards the camera, and yep, reflection opacity to 80 or so. Yeah, that is very nice. And I also added one more effect on the screen because it does not look realistic as of now. Let's just go and select this phone media and just add blinds and Venetian blinds, and let's just go and zoom it here. Maybe transition complete to 10, maybe 9, 10, and the width to maybe 1, 2. Yeah, you can see that the phone effect. That's what I want to add. I'm gonna duplicate this. And I'm gonna change the direction to 90, and that way you can see some phone effect here, right? You can choose the background color, change this, Control Shift and Y to change it. Maybe change it to white, that way it will be brighter. And just go back to the phone media and maybe select this width to maybe 1 and 1. I think that's better. So it's a subtle effect, but it makes a lot of difference here. So that's how I added it. And I also added a hot elements on here, that I use the AE Juice Pack Manager. You can just click on the download and it's gonna download this, and bam, it's there. Yep. Let me just go ahead and turn on the 3D switch, and I'm gonna do the same. Copy. Every time you introduce new layers, you have to copy the position of this and rotation of the solid, right? So I have this, and let me just go and move this somewhere here and maybe push it towards the z-axis to have some depth. And I can also add the blending mode to add or screen. Maybe I'm gonna add the screen, and maybe I'm gonna scale it up or down. You can do whatever you want. Right here you can see my, when I twist the phone, rotate the phone, you can see my thumb here. It is at the back of the screen, so we need some rotoscoping here. So I'm going to duplicate the footage. I'm gonna Control D and rename this roto, and I'm gonna move this above everything, and I'm gonna find a place maybe right here. I'm gonna trim this, hold down Alt and the left square bracket, and I'm gonna go scrub it. I want it to roto here, and all right, maybe let's go page down. That's fine. Yep, till here. I'm gonna trim this again, hold down Alt and the right square bracket so I can turn this on. Select this roto brush tool, double click on this roto layer, and I'm gonna select on my thumb this, and I can just turn on the motion blur. Right, so you can just hit the space bar to play it and track it. Right, this is the tracker, so it's gonna track it. Let's just wait for a while. All right, that's done. You can just see here, and let's close this first, and you can see here the thumb, you have some black borders here. So let's go to the roto brush effect here, effects and controls, and let's just go and shift edge to a -100, and it's gonna go out there, and maybe I'm gonna increase the feather to 15. Yep, I think that's nice. And if you go and inside this again, if you double click it, you can just, now freeze, and it's gonna render out that. So if you don't know how to full screen this, you can just hover the mouse to wherever window you want to be full screen, and you can just hit the tittle key on the keyboard. So that's done. I'll just hit the tittle key again, and if you close this, and you can see here it has been removed. Well, that's very nice. If you turn off the roto layer, you can see that the thumb is at the back side of the screen, and if you turn on the roto, it's that simple. Right, so that is how you can create this kind of effect. And if you are just starting out with After Effects, I have a course for beginners. You can go check out the link in the description down below. You can get a 40% discount using that coupon code MD2025. All right, that's all I have for this time. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.